First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along.
Donald C. Crawford, Staff Sergeant in the Army. The States 1968, went Vietnam in 69. And was assigned to a mechanized unit over there. And just had loads of fun.
Now you said mechanized unit, which unit?
I was with the Triple Deuce of the 25th Infantry, 2nd of the 22nd, 25th Infantry. We were stationed at a fire sport, well, Cu Chi, and then various fire sport bases around there along the Cambodian border. 10 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, and I come home early. Well, I had two reasons. My mother had asked that I be brought home. She wasn't very good at the time, and actually there was a early out for school that hit it at the same time. It just kind of coincidental, but came out of the hospital and come home too. So I guess there's about 3 strikes in a row there. So I guess I came home at the right time. So
Came out of the hospital?
yeah, just shrapnel and stuff. Been a little firefight.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted. Actually volunteered for the draft to move it up to where I could go when I wanted to more than when they wanted to. It moved it up from August to February. And as hot as it was, the way it was, I think, I'm not sure it was smart or not, but I was drafted out of this U.S. That's it. Wasn't regular Army, but.
Where'd you go to training?
Started out at Fort Leonard Wood, then Fort Polk, Louisiana. Went to instant NCO school at Fort Benning, Georgia. And then trained one class of troops in Fort Lewis, Washington. Then I went to Vietnam. I was almost a year stateside.
Instant NCO school.
They had a program back then. They couldn't keep NCOs in the field. They were getting shot or whatever, and you couldn't keep any leadership there. Had the same trouble with officers as far as that. But they sent you to, I think it was like 13 weeks, just about like basic training or whatever. And you come out as an E5 or E6, depending on how well you did. Well, in my case, it was their choice. I didn't have to, but it was 3 more months stateside plus 3 months pushing troops, training them. So yeah, defer the big trip as long as you could. Just didn't defer it altogether. Cu Chi was our main support group. I don't know, it's not too far from the Cambodian border right there. It's north and west a little bit of Saigon. We worked out of there and then went on up north to a province called Tay Ninh. Worked the Cambodian border, Highway 1, some, well, Ho Chi Minh Trail, whatever you want to call it. We had a lot of, it was kind of like Missouri in a way. It's different depending on where you were. Where we were at, around the Cu Chi area, was a lot of rice paddies. It was real level and everything. Then you get on up toward Tay Ninh, north just a little bit, and they had an awful lot of rubber plantations. They were really pretty. If the war, if the country hadn't been at war for the last 30 years before we got there, it'd be a beautiful place to visit. Had a really great bunch of guys, except for a couple. And once, like I said, you get the trust of the guys, you're all on a big team anyway. You're just covering each other's back to get on.
You mentioned hospital. What happened with the shrapnel?
We had some pretty heavy resistance, ambushed. Lost 2, matter of fact, that day. And several of us went to the hospital and I had shrapnel. primarily that's about it. Most of it's all gone, you know, a long time ago now. Carry some, but we made the vital mistake, or fatal mistake, following the same path that they'd been on, the same path that the day before they found this battalion campground of Viet Cong, and they had a 500-pound bomb that they were just taking the powder out of and stuff, and we went in to blow it up. And I had been in there the day before. We were walking the same path. You don't do that, and we paid the price. Come out all right, as far as my part of it. You know, we were pinned down for quite a while, but 30 against 300 doesn't work out too well, so, but we got out, most of us. That was my last day in the field. So, adios. But that was a trip over there. What purpose it served, I still haven't seen yet exactly, but we did what we had to do. Being mechanized, we got to eat the joy and privilege of doing an awful lot of road security. We'd sweep for mines and then set up various points down along so the convoys could run through. And sometimes you get the right area, being free stream or something going through, you know, you had clear water and everything. It's kind of neat just to kind of hang out, but there's a lot of memories as far as that. We used to have a gentleman that got cough medicine every day or every week, and his care package from Tennessee. His father had steel, and we saved the cough medicine until everybody had enough to get about half drunk. So we did that one night. Battalion commander just happened to fly in that day. Not a good deal. We had a minigun mounted on our APC, and he wanted to see it, and we're all down there half drunk. So, but we came out of it all right. He didn't say nothing.
Now you have your time fairly well committed, 10 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
Yeah. Well, you get what they call, you get short when you're over there, and you start counting down the days, and kind of like your service number, I guess, maybe not to everybody. It's just something stuck with me. Wasn't a bad senior trip. Just some days better than others. The 4 Bronze Stars, the 1 Purple Heart, some other. I got one from Vietnamese, Cross of Gallantry, and that's about it. Been in the hospital 4 times, but I was a sergeant, so I squelched all Purple Hearts. I was just doing a deal. I thought last time I didn't have his choice. They did it for me, I guess. But look at it. It's pretty. Well, there's quite a bit of pain with the one I earned, but at least I can sit and look at mine. Some guys got them and never seen them. So, and there was, just, I turned down the first 3 because some of the guys that stationed at the base camp fall down and scratch yourself on a barbed wire, they get turned in for a Purple Heart. Of course, back then, 4 of them, you got to go home or back in the area, I didn't think that was right, but use the system. Everybody's got their own.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along.